Arrested for indecent exposure towards women and children, and a man is already back on the streets. Good afternoon, I'm Nadine Woodward. A warning to parents, the details of this story may be graphic for children. 46-year-old Mikhail Karpov was arrested earlier this week and charged with 4 misdemeanor counts of indecent exposure. KXLY4's Caiti Currey working for you. She's live from Empire, Nevada, and that's where, Caiti, one of his victims says that's where he touched himself in front of her.
Nadine, the woman I spoke with, was more upset that what was done to her was also done to children. She says while she's sickened, he will likely only get a slap on the wrist. She understands that because of state law, there's nothing more that sheriff's deputies can do. 6 months ago, Hannah Baldwin was standing at a bus stop when this man, Mikhail Karpov, pulled up in a white SUV next to her. Just a short distance away, he sat in his car staring at her.
There was a bench right here, and then his car.
Baldwin tried to ignore him before she caught a glimpse of what he was doing.
I noticed he had his window down and he was masturbating looking at me.
Baldwin screamed at him in disbelief and wrote down his license plate as he drove away.
When it happened to me, it kind of got me scared, to go out and do anything. But then once I found out it was happening to younger girls, that just really broke my heart.
In some states, indecent exposure to a child under the age of 15 is a felony. But that is not the case in Washington or Idaho. Karpov's punishment will be the same as if he'd broken into a car.
It's really shocking and traumatizing to see somebody expose themselves or touch themselves in front of you, and it's really difficult to make sense of for young people especially.
Erin Williams-Huter with Lutheran Community Services says in situations like this, she wants to see justice for the victims as well as help for Karpov. But what becomes difficult about creating laws and punishments for indecent exposure is where do you draw the line? Does a streaker at a football game deserve the same punishment as someone exposing themselves to kids for pleasure?
The line between what could be considered a practical joke and what is violating sexual crime is difficult to differentiate between when you're in a courtroom setting.
But for Baldwin, there's only one question on her mind.
How can you let these people be out and hurt innocent children and get away with it?
Police believe there could be more victims out there. Anyone who thinks this man may have exposed themselves to them are asked to call the detective on this case directly. That number, 509-477-3218. Reporting live in Spokane, Caiti Currey, KXLY4 News.